Hi, Nikki Wyatt, the Karma Coach. This is the second video about the range of crystal herbs essences called karmic essences, and 7 of them out of the 10 relate to the Bach flower remedies groups, which are grouped into 7 different emotional and mental states. So I will refer to them as I go through. The one I'm beginning with now is water lily. Water lily is the karmic remedy for loneliness, and the loneliness group is actually the smallest of the Bart remedy groups. It's only got 3 remedies in there, so if you find you're taking any of those on a regular basis, you might want to look at water lily. The 3 that are in the Bart flower remedy range are impatiens, heather, and water violet. Karmic loneliness is very common actually among I find among practitioners and therapists quite often, because there is this sense of wanting to connect with others and yet finding it difficult. Water violet is very much one that I find therapists and practitioners need a lot, because you can become quite isolated in the sense that you're the wisdom keeper, if you like, and people come to you for help. But then where do you get help? It can be a lonely place. So if you have any feelings of great grief or sadness, or feelings that you don't belong, or you don't fit in, there's no place for you in your family or in society that feels like comfortable and for you, then reach for water lily. It heals any sense of separation from others. And if you feel you've got that you've built up a bit of a heart wall, from that guards you from your feelings and from other people getting too close, then water lily is brilliant for dissolving that. Also, if you feel that this sort of loneliness is coming, sometimes it can just feel like lifetimes and lifetimes that you've been through this. You might have spent lifetimes sitting in a cave meditating, or being very isolated somewhere. And if that's the case, then this will really help to release all that old energy and old experiences and patterning, so that you can reach out and connect with other people and feel more emotionally close to people. The next one is white bluebell. White bluebell is a marvelous remedy for empaths. So if you are very empathic, the oversensitivity range of the Bach flowers is likely to be one you'll know well if you take them, things like walnut and centauri, for example. This is, if you're an empath, you'll know it's really difficult to separate your feelings and your thoughts from those of other people. You're not sure if it's your anger or their anger, or, it's hard to go into crowds of people. You can often feel very uncomfortable, especially in your solar plexus area, because they're all the feelings around you, you're absorbing them like a sponge. You can feel really drained when you've been in the company of people, other people, especially if they've been going through something quite emotionally intense. You might avoid social situations because you feel the need for protection. And if that's the case, then white bluebell is definitely one to consider, especially if you're feeling vulnerable. Maybe it's not normally a huge problem, but perhaps for some reason, something's happened that's made you feel very vulnerable. Maybe you've just lost someone dear to you or something, in which case white bluebell would be a lovely, soft, comfortable shield for you while you're integrating your feelings. It strengthens your auric field, it restores balance, and it will help you to, if you take it over the longer term, it'll help you to see why you find it hard to create healthy personal boundaries. It'll help you to see the origins of that and to heal that. It give you, an idea of how you go about changing the situation and become less sensitive. The next one is wild iris, one I know well. And again, a great one for practitioners, I think, and therapists, because it deals with the Bach flower group of overcare and concern for other people, and includes things like beech and vine and vervain, and lots of lots and lots of people, let's face it, go into positions of looking after others because they have this strong sense of being responsible for other people's welfare. But this can, when it becomes distorted, then wild iris is a brilliant one to look for because to take because you you can also, in a slightly distorted way, feel this great weight of responsibility for other people that's actually not appropriate. There is a point at which, it's someone else's responsibility to grow and to learn and to decide whether they want to change. And Wild Iris will help you to allow people to have their own experiences and so that they can grow and evolve as they need to, rather than wanting to fix everything and make everything better for everybody. Um, it's a great one also, even if you're feeling very over responsible for the planet and the cosmic welfare of humanity. Sometimes people have really strong, maybe often coming from past life histories of having had experiences where they couldn't balance their power and authority with their sense of responsibility, and that so they keep coming back trying to learn this lesson. It's a really big one for most of us. Where do you draw the line? Where are you responsible, and where do you stop being responsible? And you might be trying to subtly try and persuade people to do things or coerce people more overtly. You might criticize people in the hope that they will then change. We usually if we need wild iris, we often want other people to change. And we often also have a great need to be right. That's another indication for needing this one. And as you take it, you'll find that you start to understand where your responsibility ends and other people's responsibility for themselves begins. And you'll be able to step back more and let go of the reins and not worry so much about other people. It's a very I find it makes people feel very light because you've been able to shrug off the inappropriate weight of responsibility. Wild Orchid is the next one, and that's for the uncertainty group of the bark remedies, so things like Serato, Scleranthus, and so on. And this is a great one if you are constantly second guessing yourself. If doubt and uncertainty dog your footsteps, then this is a great way of pulling that up by the roots. Wild Orchid will help you when you are frightened of being able to trust your intuition because you've made mistakes in the past and you're so scared of making more or repeating them that you don't even do those things anymore, and you become very risk averse, which means you stop growing really. So if this brings up fear and helps to show you why you're hesitating and unable to make decisions, I'd take some pink rose alongside this. As you notice the fear come up, take some pink rose and then go back to wild orchid. And I would say that's the case for most of the karmic essences because fear is often at the root of a great many of our patterns. And as you take essences for those patterns, the fear below it will often come up, which is why I said when I did the pink rose description that it's a good remedy to have always on hand because it's unlikely when you're doing personal development work and trying to heal that you're not going to keep coming across old fear. And it's great to have the pink rose there to help you move through that. If you can either take wild orchid when you are in a situation where you just simply can't make your mind up, or if you notice that it's an ongoing, constant issue for you, then take it over a few weeks, and it will help you to reconnect with your intuition. Because fundamentally, when you can't make your mind up, it's because you are not giving authority to your intuition and your wise inner self. And this will help you to reconnect with that and to feel your own inner authority and to give authority to your divine self, which knows absolutely what's best for you at all times. And the final one in this range is called Yellow Rattle. This covers the despondency and despair group in the bark range, which is the biggest group in the range, and it's got things like elm and oak and mustard and gentian and gorse in it. It goes on and on, unfortunately, because it is such a strong emotion for many people, feeling discouraged, feeling despondent, feeling hopeless, feeling sad. So if you have a lot of feelings of sadness, if you know that you feel easily discouraged about doing anything, or you just feel intensely sad when something happens that really shouldn't provoke that level. It's, you're overreacting, and yet you're feeling terribly sad about some small thing. Then this is one to reach for. If you have also just such a kind of theme of melancholy that goes through you just constantly have this deep sense of melancholy, then again this is a really good one, because it will help you to that the reasons for the melancholy to come up, and you will begin to be able to deal with it and learn from it and move it through you. And it often that comes from past lives, by the way. If you have that very deep depression and melancholy in your personality, it's usually something that happened, or it might be something from your ancestral line that you're carrying on behalf of an ancestor, something extremely sad that happened to them. So, what it will help as you take yellow rattle is it will help those feelings of melancholy to surface, as I say, and help you to see where they've come from, and allow what's underneath which to come up, which is usually joy. When I've taken this, I have tremendous sense of joy. So don't be put off and look at the bottle and go, "Ooh, it's despondency and despair," because actually, what you're taking when you take an essence is the frequency of the opposite. So actually, what yellow rattle is a flower essence that has the frequency of joy. And as you take it, anything that is not joy, so anything that is sad or despondent, will then be able to release and move away. And you will feel so much more content and take more pleasure in your life. So I hope that's been useful. I'll put the links below, and also a discount code for you. And I hope you've enjoyed it. Okay, take care. Bye.